1.2 Power and Exponents. In this lesson, we are going to use powers to describe repeated multiplication. The word power means the result of a repeated multiplication of the same factor. For example, 8, we could rewrite that as 2 times 2 times 2. Or we can look at this power here, 5 to the third power. The location of the 5 will be considered the base. The location of the 3 will be considered the exponent. So 5 to the third power is written as 5 times 5 times 5. And all three of these 5s are factors. The base 5 is used as a factor 3 times. Let's look at this chart here. Power. To read this in English, we say 12 to the first power. The value, which means number, would just be 12 to the 1, or first power equals 12. 5/10 to the second power. 5/10 or 0.5 to the second power, or 0.5 squared. So for the value, it would be 0.5 times 0.5, which equals 0.25. 4 to the third power can also be read as 4 cubed. And 4 times 4 times 4 equals 64, and so forth. Let's take a look at some guided practice problems here. A. Identify the base and the exponent in the expression 13 to the 5th power. The base will be 13, and the exponent will be 5. Part B, write the product using an exponent. So here we have 12 repeated 3 times. Take 12 and write 3 as your exponent. And if you're given a variable, you will use the variable n here as your base and write 3 as your exponent because there are 3 n's. Part C, write the power in words and as a repeated multiplication. Then evaluate the power. So you're being asked to do 3 things here. So in words, this will be read as 8 to the third power. Repeated multiplication would be 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. And to evaluate the power, all we have to do is multiply everything to get 512. Part D, evaluate the expression when n equals 6. So when you're evaluating, you need to substitute n to 6 for the n. So it'll be 36. Part E, determine the value of n. So here, you know that the base is 3 on the left-hand side. For the right-hand side, I would like to make the base 3 as well. 8 plus 1 is 9. So I know 81 is divisible by 3. By using the upside down division, I know that 3/4 gives me 81. So now that I have the same base, I can say n equals 4. The same goes with 6 to the n equals 216. I would like to use the base of 6 because that's my goal. So 3 6's gives me 216. It's the same base, I can just take n down and 3 down. Before I go over some word problems, I would like to review some formulas for geometry. A formula describes a relationship between quantities. Some formulas involve powers. For example, you can use a formula to find the area of a square or the volume of a cube. To find the area of the square, you just take the length of one side and multiply it to the other side. Remember, all sides of a square are all congruent, equal. So A would just be equal to S squared. And for the volume of a cube, you would take the length times the width times the height. And they all happen to be the same length, so we could just represent that as S. And there are 3 S's, so volume equals S to the cube. Area is measured in square units, such as square feet. Volume is measured in cubic units. So for example, cubic inches. Ice sculpture. An artist uses a cube-shaped block of ice to make an ice sculpture for a competition. Find the volume of the block of ice. So here we could take 20 cubed, which equals to 8,000 cubic inches. Remember to label. Extended problem solving. You send an email to 4 friends. Each friend sends the email to 4 more friends. Each of those friends sends it to 4 friends, and so on. Copy and complete the table. So by stage 3, it should be 4 to the 3rd power. And that will make 64. By stage 4, that would be 4 to the 4th power. And that would make 256. Okay, find the number of emails sent at stage 9. So 4 to the 9th power will equal to 256 times 256 times another 4. So 256 will give you 65536 times 4 will give you 262144.